All right, guys. So at this point, I'm dark. I'm desolate. I am self-sabotaging. I am emotionally bankrupt. I'm drained. I've lost everything that I feel like is important to me. And on top of that, I feel like they're shitting on me, man. I don't know what to do. I'm dealing with addictions. I'm dealing with losses. I'm dealing with who am I? I don't even know who I am anymore. Why am I here? What is my fucking purpose? Somebody help me, please. Like, in the mirror, like, please, what's going on? Like, this ain't you. Yeah, I know you're here for something greater. I know you are. Somebody help me. Whole time, it was my higher self I was talking to. So, guys, let's jump back into this episode of part 2 of my personal transformation journey. And I'm not gonna lie, it's not that easy sitting here opening up, but for me, I'm an open book. What you see with me is what you get. I don't hide any. I'm just me. This is just who I am. So it's all good. It's all to the good. Let's get to it. Interception, my friends, interception. Before we get into this episode, I'm going to read you a little insert from my mini-series, I Am Black Widow, about my life. Tell me what you think about it. I started writing in 2020, and I just haven't got back around to it. But I'm pretty far. Let a sister know. I started writing this, back in 2020, and I stopped because, I've been sidetracked. But it's still in the makings. I was thinking about just podcasting it, but here we go. Tell me what y'all think. I am Black Widow. The Black Widow thing is the whole story behind it. Okay, here we go, y'all. Lightweight intrigued by the female Black Widow spider and her ability to mate with her partner and then kill him. Can you imagine the gossip in the village? Like, I'm sure word got out. Bro, she gonna kill you. Don't go over there. But does it stop his ass from becoming a victim? Absolutely not. Impressive, I thought. Savage. I'm letting you in on a secret. Although I adopted this misunderstood creature solely under the savage nature of her mating and disposing of her mates, which I perceived as an attachment, no feelings, and not giving a fuck. I was the complete fucking opposite. Wasn't as fatal as her. And later on, the meaning would be understood on a whole different level, leaving me empty and searching for answers. Of course, my friends, you know where you're at. You're at the Hello Vibes Me Elevation podcast, where we speak of stories of empowerment, personal transformation, and our only mission is to raise vibrations collectively. That is right. This is your host, Crystal Jackson, and thank you for joining us. Now, without further ado, let's go. Let's get into this episode. Quit stalling. Let's find some personal empowerment. Come and get your personal empowerment, boo. That's what I'm going to say. Come get your personal empowerment, boo. Let's do it. Booyah. I apologize for the technical difficulties. But however, I ended up getting kicked out of my sister's house and moving in with the guy I was with. I left out the part where I went and kidnapped my kids back from their grandma. But I had to say that part because I went to go get them, and then when I got back, I was told that I couldn't come back to the house. So I was like, oh gosh, me and my kids is stuck in this mess. I never moved in with a man. The man has moved in with me, but I never moved in with a man. But he treated us good. He took care of us. He was financially supportive. We were good for a minute, but then this is where one episode where I was talking about before about loving and not liking. This is the guy I was talking about. I did love him, but oh my gosh, I did not like him. I was like, he is a burp. It's just a lot of fussing. I mean, it just was too much for me. So, anyways, I think, well, I don't think, I know now that he was thinking that I was sleeping with these other guys, this other guy, because they don't really know me. People in Columbus, my family, and they know me. They know my character. They know I'm not built like that. No matter what, they know that I'm not cut like that. I'm not sliding, snaking nobody. I never have, and I'm not doing it. He don't know that. He just know I'm different. I'm a new. The Harold's is very small. It's so small that when we first came, my sister actually introduced me to the guy so we can start talking, and then we started talking. They got mad and kicked me out. So I don't know. Anyways, it was a little bootleg, just like the color purple, and I never laughed so hard. Like, it was so cute and little. But anyways, that's what it was. He owned the bootleg, and it was still partying there. And I was just like, oh my gosh. Some mornings I got up, I did not want to drink and party. I didn't want to do that. I'm not, nobody forced me to, but then again, it's the environment. Now you sitting around looking stupid, everybody drunk and having a good time, and you all, okay, fuck it, I have a beer. I was like, man, I didn't come down here for this. So I didn't know then that he thought I was really sleeping with the guy. I thought he was speculating. I didn't know he really thought that. I'm going to tell you how that went. So anyways, one day, it was like 2 days before Christmas. I was already mad at him because he did some bullshit for Christmas. But cool, whatever. I wasn't working at the time, That's the expectations, okay? He didn't come home one night. And there was no fucking way I was going backwards. I had just left a relationship. I wasn't doing that. What? First of all, I already felt like I left my place of work, my birthplace, to come here and do the same thing, drink, party. Now you telling me I'm about to be dealing with the same type of dude? I'm good. Hey, before his motherfucking feet hit the pavement back home, I was putting my shit in the trunk. I'm not about to play that. That was the quickest I ever walked away from somebody for playing with me. And it felt good. Even though I still loved him and had feelings, I knew what I wasn't putting up with anymore. And I wasn't even awakening it. I just felt this urge of change. So I called my sister like, hey, look, you gotta let me come back. Boom. Ended up having to take my kids back to Ohio because it was threatening to lock me up and shit across state lines. So as I'm staying with my sister and stuff, y'all, it was, it was good and everything, but I just wasn't able to be independent like I was used to do. I was an independent ass bitch. You hear me? I did everything on my own. I was always there for everybody. I was always there for my family. And I'm not complaining. I love to do it, So to be put in a position where not only am I not able to take care of myself and my family, they have to take care of me. I was not feeling that shit at first. Not at all. So, I would make, my brother-in-law would be like, make a job interview. I got you. When a job interview comes, it was always something. So then it was the little complaining behind my sister coming to, I'd be like, you know what? So I just made the conscious decision. But before I made this conscious decision, was it before? It was before then. That's when awakening came, and that's what led me to this decision. So I wanted something different so bad, y'all. I had lost purpose. Oh, no. I'm going to tell you where I found my purpose. Well, I found that I wanted to live and not die. Because for a long time, from the time my fiance was murdered up until this point that I'm about to tell you about, I didn't understand what the purpose of living was for. What was the reason for living? Who cares? I don't care about that. I really felt like that. Like, I really felt like I didn't care. Like, well, shit, we just lived to die. That was my... So we went to when I first got here to North Carolina, it was about a week. We went to this little party they was having in the backyard. I didn't know nobody. And the dude that they had introduced me to, that I ended up talking to or kicking it with, going out with, dating, whatever the hell you call it today, sobbing. No, I'm just kidding. He had a motorcycle. So he was showing off. I love motorcycles. Like, you want to ride in the back of the motorcycle? We all go to my house. I was like, yeah. And my brother-in-law's niece, which we call her our niece, stopped. And she was like, no, don't get on the back of that. She don't have no helmet. I was like, you know what? You're right. I ain't going to get on the back of it. That same night, he wrecked. He said it was so bad that if I was sitting on the back of that motorcycle, I would not have made it. And right then I said, oh my gosh, I just ducked death, or something really traumatic could have happened. And that's when that's at the point I started to want to live again, or started to say, okay, maybe there is something. So now I know, my higher self now knows I needed, now that I got this far, now I needed a purpose. I'm sorry, Christianity just has never really been me. It just wasn't enough purpose. It's just never been me. I've never understood it. You know what I mean? I just went with the flow for so long because, a fear of probably not fitting in, the fear of being judged, the fear of, going to hell, a bunch of fears. So we was at the house one day, and thank God for my ego at this point. My sister was talking to me. She always see these numbers. I always see 911. I mean, she's been saying this for years. So finally I said, sis, just Google it. She Googled it, and she came up with these angel numbers. So she was talking about the angel numbers. I'm like, yeah. She caught my attention by saying, oh my gosh, Crystal, you're, is it Earth Angel or something? Then she said, you're life path 11. You da-da-da-da. My ego, if it wasn't for my ego, I probably would have missed the boat. So I thank God for my ego. That made me be like, oh, I'm something important, because everybody want to be important. So I started looking into numerology. And then I started just seeing things from a whole different perspective. Then I never forget, I sat down, I had a talk with my sister and my brother-in-law. And we was talking about religion and spirituality. And they was trying to tell me something. I was like, no, I don't want to hear. Religion is the one thing I don't have to try to understand. It's just there. And then I know, just listen. They said, do. They said a few things. And I said, okay, fuck it, y'all got me. Listen, this is something I probably have been holding on to a long time. I guess when the whole point of me saying, no, I don't want to hear, because I knew that fear of, it was a fear of, oh gosh, if I open up to this conscious, or if I open up to understand, I'm not going to believe this. I'm going to have to let this go. That's exactly what happened. So I started opening my mind to different things and started expanding my consciousness. I started looking into numbers, numerology. And then now we skip to my brother-in-law, me, my sister. It wasn't outright tension. It was behind my back tension. I was just tired of it. I just wanted to be my own. So I told my sister, take me to the closest city and drop me off at the shelter. Now, I have always worked at shelters all my life. That is the type of work I do. So to be on the other side of the fence, okay, this is the thing. There was two things I wanted to mention. Everything in the universe is a balance. And I don't know if you remember the last episode I said, what you put in the universe, you get back. Okay? So there was no way I can sit out there and put poison into the universe and didn't think I was getting that shit back. So I knew as long as I was hustling, I was on perks. I knew it. You know what I mean? In my head, I knew it. What was the second thing? Hold on. Oh, I know what I was saying. Okay. You know how they say, I don't know if you ever heard this, but just hear me out. The same people you pass on your way up is the same people you pass on your way going down, right? So you got to be mindful how you treat people. This is how I know I was putting out some good energy, because I'm not trying to be arrogant, modest, or anything when I say this. Me and my sister and cousin, we was that deal out there. We're on this side of town we was on. But we was known, like we was making shit happen. We was making noise, okay? We were known. People knew us. But, I mean, we were in charge of ourselves. We were making moves, we was getting it. We had, you know what I mean? And for me to fall from grace and have to go stand in shelter, the people that I passed when I was up, they didn't get to see me fall down because of the way I treated them. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? I thought about that. So, although I made the decision to go, when I went in this shelter, I cried like a baby. I felt a little embarrassed. I felt, oh my gosh, what is going on? Then I started to say, Crystal, pick yourself up and get yourself together. You know what I mean? And I started looking around everybody else. I don't ever want anybody else to think I'm better than them. Because the old me would have been like, I'm just here because I want to be here. I don't have to be. I got somewhere to. I had to stop myself from saying that once. And I said I never said it again. Because some of these people ain't got nowhere to go. You know what I mean? And I don't want to come here like I'm better or. So I went in there. I got on my shit. Now, at this time, I was just going through my awakening. It felt good. Gosh, it felt good. I can't explain it. It's like this open energy of consciousness. When we start meditating, I can literally close my eyes, lay down, and see sparks of light. I could feel electricity in my face. Like, that's how real it was. So I'm on the vibe right now. So I'm in the shelter. So I'm like, okay, this is the deal. So I get up, I start taking off, y'all. I find a job the very next day, walking distance. I was working at the moving company, Mayflower, getting it. I was only making $8.25. I didn't care. And that shelter, you had to be out that bitch at 6 and you couldn't come back to 5. I didn't know nobody in Wilmington. I wasn't. And half of the people, forgive me, but this is the truth, half of the people that's in the shelter, if not mainly all, were on some type of something. You know what I mean? I didn't want to be hanging around that. So I was getting busy. I was working. This was the first time in my life I saved up money from a job and bought me a car within a month's time. 825 out. He fucked me too. He got me too. We was looking, me, my sister, my mom, and then we went looking for this dude. Still ain't found him to this day. But anyways, I started to look around. See, the shelter where I had just came from, where I was working at in Ohio, we was in the newspaper and everything. I helped build that shelter. Not just me or myself, but it was a community of us. Like our intake specialist, a caseworker before it. Like, it was a lot of things I was doing in the shelter. So to come here to this shelter and see this shelter, it was like, oh my gosh. So I started looking around these people and I'm like, they're not motivated. So here the thing, it was like, this is how it was. It was like, you can stay here for 30 days. If you haven't found nothing in 30 days, you can get an extension for 60. After 60 days, you cannot come back. You got to wait a whole 30 days before you can come back. And if you come back again now, that's a whole 90-day cycle, and you haven't found a place because they added on, it's like almost 6 months. It was just a long period of time. I was like, oh my gosh. Now, it was not that I was trying to hinder these people, but the shelter that I was working at, it was resources available where you sit down with them. They had navigators or caseworkers, help put a plan together. Not this shelter. You thrown in there, you got 30 days to find your place, you on your own. I'm not saying they're wrong, this is grown ass people. I'm saying that's not the way I see things. I seen it like, wow, nobody in this bitch is motivated. It was me and this guy, this other dude. They used to be up and getting our shit together. They didn't have no motivation, and I feel like they've probably lost everything they have. The last thing they have is motivation. Like, there's so many layers to this shit. So you have to be a strong, determined motherfucker to get in this shelter, especially with everything around you. You just lost everything. You just don't have anything. You just used to not. Me, I just happened to come from my sisters to there, so I was motivated. I came there for that purpose. A lot of people came there because they didn't have a choice. So this is where my purpose and passion. I said, a fucking transitional home for people who's experiencing excessive homelessness. I'm not talking about no mediocre ass program. I'm talking about some real shit, some break you down and build you back up. Because once you are confident, you believe in yourself, that's how you put yourself out to the world. It's all about that exerting that positive energy. So that's where that one thought come from. Boom. Dead. So then I got my name. I started making my blueprint. Still got it to this day. I'm still ready to go. But things have changed. So I decided to make it into a transitional home instead. I've been back and forth between inmates and homeless. But now I got the blueprint together, I'm launching my coaching program at the beginning of next year. And I'm going to be working with felons. And I'm going to be working with regular people. I mean, not regular people. I didn't mean to say that. I'm going to be working with people who are felons and people who are not felons. And that's going to give me an idea if I want to go the halfway house direction or the shelter direction. Either way I go, the program is the shit. So, anyways, I had that idea and it's been birthed ever since. I mean, everything. I got everything together. The only thing I need is to start networking and blah, blah, blah. And I will. I end up getting my place. I was getting it, y'all. And then shit just started happening. Like, I lost my job. Me and my younger daughter moved all the way like an hour away from my mom and them because they had ended up moving down here too. I lost my job. I ain't have a car. It was just awful. So, my place, because I lost my job. So I ended up having to move back in with my mom. And when I tell you, the dark night of the soul will come in and disrupt everything, takes everything from you. It took everything. Job, so I couldn't work. So I had nothing to do but work on myself, right? So that is where the shadow work came in at for a whole year. Listen, y'all, when I'm telling you serious, I ain't never had a problem getting a job. Any job I ever wanted, I put the application. I tell my mom, I'm getting that job, I get the job. I put in like 5 applications, y'all. And shit keep happening. I put in an application at the gas station up the street for a cashier, and she wanted me to be the manager. Then I kept calling. Something came over. They kept telling me something came from my record. I'm like, I never had a record. What are they talking about? Thank you. My car, it was just everything. And I realized later on, as I started doing research stuff, I was going through the dark night of the soul, and I wasn't supposed to be doing anything of the material, practical, where I just needed to say, and y'all, for almost a year, I stayed in that background. That's why I be feeling Jordan Lucas. Oh gosh, I love him. What's that part he say? I like my room. I like my mom. I like my room. I had to go stay with my mom. I locked myself in a room to hide all my demons, something like that. But I worked on myself, y'all. I worked and I worked and I worked. I started confronting energies. I started confronting myself. I don't care. I know for a fact my Kundalini energy was rising. I was so determined for that to happen. I started doing all type of research, and I started to realize, it said if you're desperately trying to do this, then you're operating from the ego. But so I tried to. I put the energy and effort towards balancing my ego, my spiritual self. And I focused and I focused and I focused and I was and set intention. Y'all, I would not lie to you. One night I was laying in the bed and I was focused. And a lot of us, it's going to be 5 years. You got to go to yoga. That's why I don't. That's the whole thing about spiritual coaching with me. I don't like the rules, you know what I mean? Because I think everybody's path is very different. Because I had listened to them, you know. But me being me, I like to do my own research. One day I laid in that bed, I'll never forget that energy. I felt it. It was so warm. It went from my feet all the way up, went in my body, and then it got to my head, it said, poof. It was like a buzz. And I jumped up, and I had been up all night, like energetic. I was like, oh my gosh. And I was trying to tell my sister, I don't know what the hell wrong with her, but I know that was my experience, you know, whatever. So finally things started to get better after that. It's like you don't know what you don't know how long the dark night of soul is going to be. The more you rush and want it to be over, the longer it's going to be. You have to work through it. You have to work through the dark energy to get to the light. After about a year and a half, I finally made it to the light. And let me tell you where I started. The only job that I could get was at Rainbows, and it was $7.25 an hour. I'm not lying. And this was not too long ago. This was in 2018. But I was just proud to have a job and get out the house. I was so isolated. I wasn't used to being isolated. I am now. So, I worked and I worked and I worked. And I'll never forget, I was trying to put in for a cashier or something. I was sick of working on the floor because it was so it's like 2 people coming a day. And I don't like the cashier, but I got to switch up. So I got to run a background check on you. And this is when I found out. Boy, they came to me and said, I had a petty theft on my record. I said, what? I said, first, I am not no. And then it hit me, when me and my sister first came down here, we had went to Walmart, okay? And that's all she wrote. That's what I'm going to say. And I'm not good at that. So I'm sure it was my fault. But I was like, after everything I did in my life, this is what they're going to give me for. So I told them the truth. Listen, hey, check this out. Before I go talking about behind me huddling or anything like that, let's just put this shit out here. Yes, I did. And I explained everything. I understand now. I said, but I will tell you, because I was reliable, I was always on time, that, you know, they can call me on my days off. I'm going to be honest with you. I can't stay here, though. I'm going to find another. I'm looking for another job because this is not going to cut it. You know what I mean? Even if I would have moved to cashier, it wouldn't have been much more. But the fact that you can't put me in no box, bruh. You know what I mean? Especially when I know what my capabilities is and my skills and everything. Oh, no, man. You tell me I can't get in this raggedy-ass registered Rainbows? Okay. So I put in an application at the Salvation Army in Fayetteville for a monitor. She got my resume, got back with me. She wanted me to be a caseworker. Oh, yeah, bet. But it was like an hour and a half away. I wanted that so bad. And it wasn't even the money. The money, it was only $14 an hour. That's just the type of, if I have to work for somebody else, it has to be that. It has to be that. And it was my own building. I mean, a whole building. My own key. Go and come in, you know, boom. So I had bought this raggedy ass car, y'all. It wasn't that raggedy, but it was not all in good condition. It wasn't new at all. It was like a 2000 and I forgot, like 3 or 4. I don't remember. I always get cars like that. I buy cars for like motherfucking shit. I bought a car, for A-Ball once. Real talk. I'm just being honest, y'all. I'm being open, honest, and I'm being transparent. So, after a year of driving back and forth on this car, it broke down. Now, I did have another, it was another organization out there. We were working together. And he was trying to build, he's building his, we ended up just talking and we had the same ideas in mind. So he was a few steps ahead of me, so I wanted to keep the connection going. So when I get ready to do mine, boom, and he said I could reach out to him or whatever. So when my car broke down, let me just be straight. This man did not try to talk to me. He did not try to sleep with me. He didn't make me feel uncomfortable. It was nothing like that. It was I would have done that for somebody. You know what I mean? It was just somebody being kind. And it made me feel good. And that's how I knew I was elevating my vibration, because I was attracting people to me that was on the same vibe as me, that was like me. So it's like, I could use his car until I get mine fixed. He had a second car. And when I tell you, now let me just say, where I worked at in Southern Pines, Oprah Winfrey or Michael Jordan, one of them got a house out there. It's very expensive to live out there. So I know he was doing all right. Me, on the other hand, I lived in Roseberry in a mobile home. So I told the supervisor, like, okay, well, my car broke down, such and such going to use the car. She's like, oh, no, you can't do that. So I'm thinking, what? Bitch, if I don't use the car, I'm going to get to work. So I'm like, okay. I did it anyway. She must have found out. I know she did. So one day, they waited for the end of the day. Her and the chaplain or whatever you call him, they pulled up and shit. I said, hey, we got to let you go. Because, first my car broke down, but also because I told you next time that you was late to let me know, and you didn't let me know. I was like, all right, bet. I wasn't mad. I wasn't upset. It was an acceptance. I can't even tell you. And I think because I feared it happening so much, I know that's why. Because, man, my car gonna break down. It broke down. Man, they gonna fire me. I got fired. Y'all, I just moved into my place, okay? Just moved into my place. Me and my son, my oldest son. Gosh, thank God that boy liked me. When I tell you, me and him gave no fucks. We didn't know how it was going to happen. We just knew it was. So anyways, they said they got to let me go. I'm like, cool. So now, this is just off the subject. I always think about this. Like 2 or 3 days before, me and my son was watching this series called The Middles. Man, I love that shit. Shit's funny. And she was working at this car dealership, and she had got fired. And she was carrying this box out. So it was like, everybody know you got that box, you're fired. So when she got in the car, she just broke down. She was doing this ugly cry, and I laughed so hard. 2 days later, it happened to me. So she's like, you want a box to put your stuff? I was like, no, it's okay. Because the lady next door, it was a Monday, but still, I just didn't want nobody to see me. But the lady next door, she did hair, and she was a bitch. She was real mean and nasty. Y'all, now mind you, I've been working here for a year by myself, so I got a lot of stuff in there. So I'm like, no, I'm cool. I didn't want the box. I did not want this box. So she's like, you sure? I'm like, I'm sure. So I'm walking around, y'all, I got all this shit in my hand, shit falling over. So she's like, you sure? I'm like, no, I'm cool. Then after like the 4th time, we both realized, I turned around, I was like, she's like, you sure? I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. We both understood we didn't need to be explained. I took the fucking box, packed everything in it, got in the car. I didn't cry like that. I didn't do the ugly cry. I just drove home. And then I talked to my sister, and she started crying. And then I shedded a few tears. I was like, okay, I'm okay, Desi. Something better gonna happen, because I was already connected to my consciousness. I was believing in, the full car and tear, that was me. So when I went home, I didn't tell my son for like a whole day. Then I told him, look, my spray, he wasn't worried either. Shit, I was like, I'm just gonna apply for, what do you call that when you get unemployment? Baby, when I tell you, I called the guy and touched that motherfucking unemployment. They said it's a 501c and they don't pay into unemployment. I said, oh, we screwed. I said, I don't know what we're going to do, but we're going to be okay. But then tax time was coming up. Still, I did the fool. I said, you know what? I turned around to my son. I said, I'm always telling y'all that y'all can do anything y'all want. Y'all can be anything y'all want. I said, I want my own business. I said, and I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. I'm going to show y'all. I said, all y'all fucking life, y'all had to see me being strong because I had to. Y'all see me get shit done because I had to. I'm going to finally show you me doing something because I want to do it and get it done. Okay, Mom, I got you. I said, I'm going to take my money, I'm going to invest. I took my tax money, I paid my rent up for a few months. I invested in I didn't know how to do anything. Nothing. I bought jewelry kits. I bought a sewing machine. I bought a heat presser, a 3D printer, everything I thought I was going to need. And I also a bunch of stuff to make cosmetics. Because I thought this was the idea. Okay, I think, son, this is me talking to my son. You know what, son? I think I'm going to make cosmetics and jewelry because I always wanted to know how to make earrings because I like exotic earrings. I love exotic earrings. When I was younger, they used to always be like, girl, you didn't take them. Anyways, I said, damn. I said, I need a purpose. Because, see, I have ADHD, so I knew that if I did not have a purpose, y'all, I'd have never lasted this long. This was in 2020, right before COVID. So I laid in the bed. I was like, saying a powerful intention. I need a purpose. I woke right up with the purpose. I ain't lying. to raise vibrations collectively. I'm like, okay, so everything is energy, even jewelry, everything. If it's not energy, it doesn't exist. So if it's energy, it can be positive. It can sustain positive. It can emit. It can, you know what I'm saying? You can set intentions for positive energy. You know what I mean? If it's already energy, why not make it positive? So that was the concept. So then I started with, I did everything. I jumped right off the bus. I started making cosmetics. I was making earrings. I was trying to sew. I was doing everything. I was learning how to learn astrology. I was taking coaching courses, doing everything. I tried to put everything out there. Whew, it was too much. My sister kept telling me one at a time. Finally, after about 2 years, I had to teach myself everything, how to do websites, how to do labels on cosmetics, how to do everything. And I thought I was just going to make a lip gloss. Baby, I should have known better. Man, I started taking courses. I learned how to make I learned how to read the INCIs. I learned how to read those. I learned how to really do labels. I learned how to make body butter from scratch, conditioner, shampoo, with emulsifying wax. I went hard. But it was so much shit nobody knew. Like, nobody's going to buy anything from you if they don't know you. So I had to stop, set everything back, and focus on one or two things. So now I have built a business and launching my coaching next year. And that is my journey from hustling to broken relationships to unsettled homes to having nowhere to go to being in an abusive relationship. Not that I hate saying abusive relationship because I fought back, but nonetheless, to having kids at a young age, to raise, boom, 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 to here right now, to a level of consciousness that some people will never understand. It's a different type of consciousness. I'm not lying. Like, I'm all in. It is the age of Aquarius, for sure. And I'm telling you, conscious is a vibe, for sure. The point of this is, it's everybody. It's not too late to change. It's not too late for transformation. If I could do it, anybody could do it. Oh, I forgot the whole perk story. So I went from drinking to right here, right now. I don't take no perks, no pills. I don't take no fucking, I don't drink. I don't do anything. I don't do nothing but invest my time and energy in creations by us, inspire vibration. My only mission, I promise, is to raise vibrations collectively. I want everybody to get the message. I want us all to win. I want everybody to be happy. That's it. I'm genuinely, as genuine as I can say it. So, I'm hoping this gave you a better idea of where I'm coming from, where I'm at today, why I'm here, and where I came from, and why this is so important to me, and why my mission is so. Oh, what's one part I left out? Right before I decided to move to North Carolina, never forget this. Me and my baby's father, my first one, we were friends. That's my buddy. So we kick it. He had a girlfriend. She cool too, you know. This when I think I was taking Xannies. Oh, yes, girl. It was so bad. So I was right around the corner from my house. I drove this fucking journey all the time. I was so messed up. I did not know. What am I trying to say, y'all? I didn't know how to get home. I kept saying, turn this way, turn that way, turn this way. And I knew he knew I was fucked up. And he turned around and he know what used to happen. He like, bitch. And I'm like, oh. I couldn't even be mad at him. He was like, what is wrong with you? He started crying. He was like, baby mom, what's going on? Like, I never seen you. This ain't true. And I started crying and he crying and I'm crying. His girlfriend looking at us like we motherfucking crazy. But I felt that. So I was like, it's cool. So I went to home and I called him. I said, hey, 50, listen. I said, I feel like I need to tell you this. And I don't know where this is coming from. I said, but I promise you, I'm not going to be here forever. I can promise you that. I said, I don't know why this is happening. No, I said, I don't know where it's coming from. I don't know why. But I know I'm going through this for somebody else. I know it. I said, and don't worry, things are going to be fine. I'm going to pull myself out of this. This is for me. I'm supposed to go through all this pain, all this trauma, all these things so I can help and be there for somebody else. And he said, damn, baby mama, that's powerful. And that's exactly what's happening right now. And this is way before the awakening. So just remember, guys, if don't nobody love you, I love you. And my mission is to raise vibrations collectively. And be mindful how you spend your energy and protect your energy like the Secret Service to protect the president. And I hope this gave you a better understanding of who I am, though, really. I try to be as transparent as I can be. I try to put it all out there on the table, you know. Because, the transformation, I've been there. I know how to navigate through that shit, stand tall. We all do. We all got the energy in us. We all got the answers to our questions. We just need some guidance to get there a lot of the times. Anyways, namaste. I love you guys. And don't forget, this is the month of transformation. And with change comes power. In order to change, you have to be aware. You cannot change something you're not aware of. You have to be aware. You have to change in order to grow. If you don't change, you're not aware, you can't grow, and then you're stuck on stupid. And if you're here to be stuck on stupid, that's fine. I'm not here to judge. I'm just here to talk about it. And, when a student is ready, when the student is ready, teacher will show up, vice versa. I'm a forever student and a forever teacher, guys. So, Anyways, okay, I'm going to let y'all go. I'm going to wrap this up. This is a pretty long episode. I might have to break this down in two. All right, guys. So let's go on and wrap this up. I just want to conclude with... I know it is. I want to conclude with the journey that I took, the journey of transformation in my moment of clarity. My destructive point was when I suffered that loss emotionally. And then the losses I took after that. My children, my house, because of the actions that I took. Okay. My turning point was when I felt like everybody left me in my worst point of time. That was enough for me to say, I was already fighting and struggling with my better self and my light and dark. Then the step I took, I moved myself out the environment. Then I was aware that I was in the same environment, so I removed myself out the environment again. Then I found purpose. I found something bigger than myself. Not creations by us. I'm talking about my spirituality, my consciousness. I found a purpose. And I seek purpose, and I realized I had a life purpose here. That gave me life. Then I went through the measures. I did the self-analysis, the self-awareness, and I just wanted to be better. And when I do meditate or when I do set intentions, always to be better. It's always to raise myself, my vibrations by myself and collectively. It's always to connect with my higher self. It's always to be, I am consciousness. So these are the things that I set my intentions towards when I'm doing my affirmations. So it was about being aware. It was about being real with myself. It was about balancing my shadow and my dark and my light. It was about going through going through the work, taking the steps to be better, setting intention to be better, and living life on life terms. Like, basically, you cannot control the world. You cannot control the outcome. You can only control how you react to it. And that is what I live by. So then I decided I need to go. I need to take a risk and go do what I need to do for my purpose. I didn't know how the rent was going to be paid, and I ain't lying. This dude I was with in jail, my ex-boyfriend, for a whole year, he paid my rent. Almost. While I worked, bill. I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I didn't care. I just knew that this is what I was going to do, and that was it. There was no more talking about it. So I did a fool's move, but I'm still here, and it feels good. So those are the steps that I took. I shifted my mind. I changed my mindset. I wanted better, and I took the steps to do it. Little steps at a time. It was some up and down, some walking backwards, walking back up, getting out of touch with my spiritual self, and then back to the physical form. The ego, the spiritual self will always fight because the ego will always want to win. And yeah, that's the basics of it. So I want to give y'all the tip of the day. If you are feeling stuck and unsure of your next step, y'all start by looking inwards, journal, meditate, or simply allow yourself some quiet reflection. And this can help reveal what you need to release and where you need to grow. And engagement to my audience. What was one moment that changed you forever? You can feel free to share the story with me. I let it hear it. You can be a guest on the podcast. And guys, if you enjoyed today's episode, share with somebody who might need a reminder that change is possible. And if you're interested in a personalized guidance, check out our latest astrology reading sessions, tarot reading sessions, and numerology. You can go to my website, www.inspiredvibrations.com. Grab a pair of them earrings, man. I made it with love, intention, my bare hands, okay? And it has a 15-day warranty on the earrings. And I would like to close with a mantra. Remember, every challenge is an opportunity to rise, guys. Transformation begins with one step towards your true self. And cut. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you guys for tuning in. Remember, your energy is expensive. Be mindful how you use it. Always protect your energy like the Secret Service protect the president, but not John F. K. And namaste, my baby. See you on another day.